Hi everybody, welcome to the channel Lightworkers Together. This is Val. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. I'll show you the sky here. Isn't that gorgeous? You can hear a helicopter off in the distance over there. And I wanted to do a short video talking about, we're going to take a little walk while I do this. I'm here at a park and it's very pretty. It is warm. It's going to be almost 90 today, but the sun's not beating down because of all the clouds, so it's pretty comfortable. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, and many of you will resonate with this, is sometimes we get messages. So sometimes you may have messages that you receive in dreams, or visions even that you receive while you're wide awake. And there may be times or occasions where you will receive the same message or the same vision multiple times while sleeping or dreaming and while awake. Look how beautiful, y'all. I think we'll go this way. And this is what I wanted to talk about because I was meditating the other day and I feel like there's been a lot of unusual energies, a lot of very heavy energies going on, and that happens. Look at the beautiful butterfly. That happens whenever there are shifts and changes taking place, which is what is happening. There are shifts and changes taking place. So my thought was, I'm going to show you guys this pretty flowers over here. Aren't they beautiful? My thought was that I would like to share something which is started out as a dream and then a vision, and it's literally a vision of another timeline. Now this may be, what I'm going to share may be a little out there for some folks. Kind of depends where everybody is on their journey and what folks believe and what they don't believe. But in an effort to always be kind of highlighting the positive and things that are hopeful, when I was meditating, my thought was, I really wish everyone could see what I've seen, because it would fill them full of hope. It would help in times where, when you're surrounded by, this world, be it an illusion or whatever it is, a mental construct, a matrix or whatever, it can be difficult, right? So as I was meditating on this and thinking about this, the message was pretty clear when I was like, I wish everyone could see. And the message was, then why don't you share that? Which is something, strangely, I don't know why, it never occurred to me to do so before. But anyway, being as my channel is about, oh, look at the little bee, how beautiful. The bee is my totem animal. It's so beautiful. Anyway, and so important, right, to the ecosystem. Anyway, back to, there's going to be a lot of topics covered on this channel. And initially, I kind of kept it to really just some basic stuff. But as time goes on, I'm really going to be branching out, and I am going to be talking about things. Like I said, for some, this is going to be outside the wheelhouse of, their interest or what they believe. So with that being said, love and peace to everyone, wherever you may fall. So this message is meant to be one that is hopeful. And I feel like this definitely will resonate, and this message will be for someone to hear, at least. I always say, for all of us, many have YouTube channels or just, try and be helpful in your individual lives. I know this about you all. You know, I respond to the beautiful, positive comments that I receive all the time, and I know what kind of beautiful, loving hearts I'm dealing with here. So what I want to say is the vision that I had. So I'm trying to figure out, I wish I could just take a snapshot of what's in my brain and show it to you. So I'll describe it as best I can. So, and that's why I wanted to come to the park where everything's kind of very green and beautiful here. So imagine an earth. It certainly looked like earth to me, and I believe that it was. But imagine an earth, you all, that has been healed. It's not been poisoned. It has been loved and nurtured and cherished, as it should be, right? Because, you know, in this reality that we're living in, you know, the earth, it provides everything that we need. So in this vision, it was an earth, but it not like the one that we currently are existing in at all. A lot of the structures and things were not in existence. I would say it was definitely more, if you can imagine kind of living in harmony with the planet, you know, still having, like, there was a building, there was a beautiful waterfall there, but it was more like the structures and things that were there, you all, and there were no cars, by the way. I did not see a single vehicle. Now, every time I have the vision, it is kind of limited to like 2 kind of particular areas, but in those areas there were no roads. Okay, there were no roads. There were no cars. I don't know if you can see how pretty this is. People were dressed in different clothing, not exactly like what we have on. It was kind of more flowing type clothing. I don't know what the material would be. I don't know what you would call it. But in this world, the earth was loved, nurtured, appreciated. Oh, look at the bumblebee. Can you see him? And cared for, and everyone was living in harmony. And when I say that everyone was here in this vision, truly living in, this is kind of what started the whole thing for me with the channel, was this vision when I had it some time ago, living in love and peace and unity. And it wasn't just humans, it wasn't just humanoids and humanity. It was beings, other high-level beings who were higher in their consciousness, from, you know, other galaxies, other, I would say, dimensions or realities. But what was beautiful about it was we were all there together. We were living in harmony with kindness, compassion. It was pretty apparent that there was no, the way things seemed to work, there was no like money or anything like that. But people were all doing the things which they were gifted with, like those that were gifted with being able to do music or art, or, you know, for some mathematics, engineering, like different things. Those are the kind of things people were doing. So it seemed like the currency, if you could even call it there, like there was no currency needed, you all. And the things that I saw there and that I participated in, it was another version of me that was there, and it didn't look a lot like I look now. Similar, but not really the same. And energy, it was literally, you know, if you study physics and other things, or you can even, you know, watch YouTube videos, and you know that, you know, energy is all around us. We are energy. Everything is energy. We are all from the one source of energy, whether you call it God, source, the universe, or whatever name you wish to label. But energy is all around us. It's not empty space, as was once believed at one time, but everything is energy. You know, like this ground that I'm walking on here. You know, this is, everything is vibrating with its own level of vibrational energy. So in this vision I had, literally, I could pull from the air around me what looked like literally almost like a goldenish colored ball of energy. And I was showing these very small children how to place this down into the ground. And it was amazing because literally within moments, these beautiful fruit trees sprang up. It was just beautiful. So it's like there was no need for kind of the entire structure monetarily and societally that exists in this version of our reality. It was one in which, you know, every single living thing could coexist with love, with compassion, with kindness. And it was pretty amazing because even the other beings that were there, everybody had something to bring to the table, basically. We were all sharing information. We were all helping each other, working together with this same kind of united, for the highest good of everybody, service to others type of attitude, which was amazing and beautiful. And so I know at first I was like, oh, this is, the first few times I saw that vision, I was like, this is just amazing. And, you know, it literally made me cry with joy. I was so happy. I was like, I can't wait for this. And then it became apparent after a while that reality already exists. We have co-created it. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys, there's some noise here. Okay, so we have already co-created this reality, and it exists on another timeline. So when I'm always on the channel and I'm talking about, you know, raising our vibration, trying to stay positive, you know, spreading that beautiful love and that light, which I know so many are doing, and there's more waking up every day who are also participating. You know, some folks, that's solely what they're here to do. Every time we do that, that brings our timeline and the other timeline closer together, right? Because everything is a vibrational energy. And at some point, as we continue on this path, I think we'll wander this way, you all. Look how pretty. As we continue on this path, we will end up converging those two timelines together, which of course is the ideal, right? For those that would choose to live in a world of love and peace and unity, which I believe, you know, and I have these disagreements sometimes with family members, but I believe the majority of us want that. I know that there are some who have their own agendas, but that's a whole separate topic for another day and not really for today. But I do feel like, and I feel this when I'm out and about, anywhere I go, when I deal online with people, anything. Like what I see is that beautiful shining light. I see that loving heart. I see unselfishness. I see people helping people all the time. I mean, I could sit here all day long and give you all examples. Literally, I could. But it's not necessary because most of us are aware of the fact that the average individual, if you want to call it that, or the majority, I would like to say, who are not running their own service to self agendas, would love to live in that world. Look at this pretty garden. We're going to take a little detour over here. Isn't that pretty? And there were some other details to this vision. But the main thing it would be for many like a version, if you believe in heaven and that, a version of heaven on earth, okay, created. So, you know, many of us are gonna continue to stay in that energy, and I know it's been tough. I can tell you, I don't know, folks may or may not have noticed, but I haven't been on my channel for the last few days. Part of it was I had some things I was dealing with, and I did have my dad's 88th birthday party to arrange, but there's been just some really heavy energies going on, and there was stuff coming up, and it kind of put me into a darker place, which is not generally where I spend a lot of time. Like, it can happen, it happens to all of us, right? You'll hit something will come up from your past, or even something you're currently going through in your life. You know, there's tons of twists and turns in this life, this reality to me that we're all living in, and you know, some of it's not a lot of fun. There's always lessons to be taken from everything, and that's kind of what I try to do. And because I understand, like most of us really do, that, you know, this is, sorry guys, I lost control of my phone there, that this is just temporary, right? These feelings come up for a purpose. It's like the message I always get from my angels is, when you feel these emotions, look how beautiful, when you feel these emotions rising up, you need to kind of follow them, because there is a message to be found in them. We're going to walk around here so you all can see the pretty flowers. Look how beautiful. So this was a situation which is a little unusual for me for two reasons, and prompted me to share this vision that, you know, for anybody who is going through something difficult, or who has, you know, darker energies pulling them down, try not to stay in those energies, because that's kind of what happened to me, and that's really unusual for me. I will allow myself to feel these things, I let them pass through, and I heal them, and then I move past it and get back into a higher vibrational, lighter energy. Well, there was something very peculiar about this. I'm in a gazebo, guys. You can see the roof. Here we go. Pretty cool, right? Very pretty. And it was like I was feeling not just emotions that were coming up from somewhere out of me, and it was definitely not current life. It had to have been past life, but I almost, to be honest, and I have to trust my intuition, I didn't even feel like these emotions were mine. They came out of left field. It wasn't related to anything that I was thinking about at the time, right? Nothing that I was thinking about, or like I wasn't even in a situation where, you know, I was meditating or, you know, kind of anything like that. They just came up out of nowhere, and it was such a, why I believe it really wasn't coming, at least not all, directly from me, is because it was almost like a really gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching sadness. And for something like that, whenever something really pretty heavy comes up, you all, especially even if it's past life, it becomes apparent. Like, I am given basically a window shown, okay, this is not from this life. Here was a situation that happened, and this is something that you are having to, this may be an ancestral thing that has to be healed. It was nothing like that, you all. And it was so heavy that I just sat there for a minute, and I was saying to, you know, my spirit guides, I was like, this doesn't feel like me. This doesn't even feel like my emotions, or that it's coming from me. I think I'm feeling somebody else's just incredibly sad emotions, you know, which just my heart went out to wherever that was coming from. But it put me in a place, and maybe because I could not really gain the direction, right, of where it was coming from, I wasn't able to kind of pinpoint what it was to deal with it. And I kind of ended up sinking into it, which some of you may be able to resonate with that happening. We're going to come over here and look at one of my favorite things. So it took me much longer than it would ever normally take me to end up coming up out of that and getting back into my positive, lighter energy. Here you go, guys. May peace prevail on earth. It's going to. That's what I want to say. The point of this about visions and dreams is if you're having visions and dreams, a lot of times you're getting messages, so don't necessarily, you know, brush it off. My father is a person who has some really scary, wild, prophetic dreams that turn out to be true, pretty much all of them. And he used to try and brush stuff off. So I just want to say that, you know, even if you have dark days, you know, if it seems like there's much more negative going on, you don't see a way, like, you know, even a lot of my family who, you know, they're not awakened, so they're existing primarily in our current 3D reality, and to them they're like, I just don't see a way that this could ever be fixed or be better, but it can, and I've seen it. And you can be surprised by how quickly, in fact, something can change and it can turn around in the blink of an eye, guys. Things can change, and the more of us that are staying in that beautiful, loving, positive, peaceful energy, the quicker it will happen, because when we do that, it's not just for ourselves. Like I said, we are all connected, absolutely connected. So what you do for yourself, you do for others. And that's kind of what I wanted to say. So, you know, if anybody's been having any kind of dreams, especially with this energy, seems like a lot more people have been having dreams and messages and things. I would say just, you know, give yourself a chance to pay attention to that. If you are hit with energy that seems to come from out of the blue, you know, be kind to yourself. Because at first I kind of tried to really just like shake myself out of it. And when that didn't really work, I was like, okay, I need to try and heal this, but you can't heal something if you don't, you know, if it's not really significantly brought to you that that's coming from you. So at the end of the day, I just was like, the only way to deal with this energy is with love, and to be kind and compassionate to myself while I am bearing up under this, right? While you're going through this. So I would recommend that. I would recommend that highly. So I'm going to get ready to wrap this up now, guys. Look how beautiful. The sun's back out. It's so pretty. So I'm going to wrap it up by saying I am going to do 2 other videos that kind of tie into this one a little bit. One was one that had been requested by a couple of folks, and that was about soul ties and contracts. And I'll tell you how it ties into this, which may not seem relevant. Some people are going to resonate with this, a lot may not. Those of you that have been, where you can consciously feel your energetic tie to someone, okay? And that would be a video really all in and of itself. But there are times where we will be, and a lot of people use the twin flame thing, but it doesn't have to be that, truthfully. It doesn't have to be that at all. Where we're energetically tied to someone. And sometimes that's the emotions or things you can be feeling. If you are that closely tied energetically to someone, you can feel what they're feeling a lot of times. So I am going to be doing that video next. And the other one, which I thought was so important, and again relates to this, is I'll be doing a video about, you know, self-love versus love for others, and how for a lot, especially light workers, star seeds, everybody, those with just sincere, unselfish, loving hearts, it's very difficult sometimes to give yourself that beautiful, unconditional love that you give to everyone else. And it's important that you do. It is not selfish to do so, okay? It's in fact quite necessary. So I will be doing a video about that topic also. So thank you all so much for taking this beautiful walk with me today. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. And again, please hang on to, oh, butterfly, can you see this? It's like a monarch butterfly. I don't know if y'all can see that. Hang on to your positive energy, your beautiful, loving hearts. Just hang on to that hopeful energy, not just for yourself, but for all of us, because the dream is coming, okay? Much better days are ahead. It's going to be a world that's going to be beautiful and that can be for all of us to live in peace and harmony together. So please hang in there. I'm sending everyone love, peace, and unity. Please stay well, stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.